Alright, so it looks like we're going to be getting our biggest community day ever this coming weekend, and that is of course because there's just a lot of cool things that Niantic is adding to this particular community day, and some of the bonuses are the best bonuses we've had in a while. And I really think that if you properly utilize every single thing at your arsenal in this community day, you're going to be able to pick up some really nice shinies and possibly even a shundo. And I'm going to be giving you some tips on how you could possibly achieve that. But in any case, yeah, let's roll the intro and get right into the video. And how's it going, everyone? It's me, it's Count, here with a brand new Pokemon Go video. Today I'm going to be giving you all of the details for the December of 2020 Community Day weekend. Of course, with every single one of the December Community Days, they always act as kind of like a recap. They have all of the Pokemon from the previous Community Days of that year spawning in the wild. And then for a set period of time, you get additional bonuses. And I really feel like for this particular recap Community Day, there's a lot of things that we really need to highlight that a lot of players may not necessarily care about, but I think it's very important that you utilize these bonuses so you get the most out of this particular Community Day. Alright, so let's just jump into the details. First and foremost, this December Community Day weekend is going to be from Saturday, December 12th, 2020 at 6 a.m. local time, and it's going to go until Sunday, December 12th at 10 p.m. local time. So this is going to be a full weekend of Community Day. You're going to see a whole bunch of Community Day Pokemon spawning in the wild, and a lot of these will have boosted shiny rates, so you will encounter a lot of these as shinies. And what are all of the Pokemon that we are going to see? Well, we're going to see every single one of the Pokemon that got a Community Day in 2020, and that includes Piplup, Rhyhorn, Abra, Seedot, Weedle, Ghastly, Magikarp, Porygon, Charmander, Electabuzz, and Magmar. Every single one of these Pokemon will have slightly boosted shiny rates throughout the entirety of the weekend, and if you are out hunting for these Pokemon, if you missed out on a particular Pokemon's Community Day, you are almost guaranteed to get a shiny of these Pokemon if you grind it out really hard. My suggestion is that if you are able to, go out and look for massive cluster spawns with a high density of spawn points, and make sure you make note of these places, because during these Community Days, these are going to be the prime locations for you to grind it out. But of course, because of the global pandemic, I honestly think you should be as safe as possible. Make sure you stock up on incense if you are going to be doing this entire weekend from home. I know it's tempting right now to use your incense while Kalos Pokemon have been released, but I honestly think it would be more valuable to use your incense during this weekend, especially because there's just going to be a lot of other bonuses that's going to mesh well with incense as well. And we'll get into those bonuses later, but next I want to talk about these 2km eggs, because these are going to be all of the 2019 Community Day Pokemon, and of course all of these Pokemon could be shiny as well. And when it comes to 2km eggs, and any eggs in general really, you are going to get much higher IVs than Pokemon that you would find in the wild. So if you were to get a shundo, these eggs are going to be your best bet. Some of the immediate standouts when it comes to these 2km eggs is of course Swinub and Mudkip. These are two Pokemon that are going to have immediate uses when it comes to PvP as well as with raid battles. So I honestly think these are Pokemon that you will want to target when it comes to these egg hatches. But of course, the important thing right now is of course just catching as many Pokemon as you can in the wild. You will not want to miss out on a lot of these Pokemon that are going to be spawning in the wild. But if you are not able to go out, then maybe these egg hatches will produce some really good results as well. Now I know a couple of players will say that this particular pool of Pokemon that we could get in the wild and through eggs and raid battles are not as great as previous years, but I would actually beg to differ, considering that there are quite a lot of different standouts that are very effective for the Master League that I really feel like a lot of players cannot ignore. For example, Magikarp and Gengar could have some really great uses in the Master League, so if you are looking to get a perfect IV of these Pokemon with their Community Day moves, I would highly suggest doing a bunch of trades with these Pokemon, because there is a chance that you could hit it lucky with a friend and get a really nice IV of these particular Pokemon to use in the Master League. And And of course, there's a lot of good implications for Charizard with the Community Day moves, so you will not want to miss out on that as well. And then of course, Rhyhorn has been a staple in PvE and PvP, so you will not want to miss out on him. It's really interesting that there's just a lot of Pokemon that are really good for the Master League in this particular pool, and I really feel like for a lot of players, if they end up ignoring this recap Community Day, then they're going to stifle their pool of Pokemon that they could use in PvP for a long period of time. So I really think that for a lot of players who are interested in PvP, this could possibly be the most important recap Community Day that we've ever had. Even when it comes to Seedot and Weedle, and if you're looking to use Haunter in the Great League, like there's just a lot of potential for some really great Pokemon for PvP out of this Community Day, so I really suggest you do not miss out. Now, I mentioned earlier that there's going to be set periods of time throughout this Community Day weekend that's going to provide some really nice bonuses that you will want to utilize. So here we go. First and foremost, on Saturday, December 12th, between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. local time, which is the typical Community Day hours, we're going to get 2 times Catch Stardust, half egg hatch distance, and 3-hour incense. Now, like I said before about saving your incense, these are the moments where you will want to save up your incense and use them, because you're going to get a bunch of increased spawns, as we've confirmed with the past couple of Community Days. It looks like the pandemic bonus for incense spawn rates are back, especially for Community Days, so you will want to utilize that along with this 2 times Catch Stardust bonus, especially right now with the new level cap and all of the increased levels for all of your Pokemon. Like, you will want to stock up on as much Stardust as possible, and this is your greatest opportunity to do so. During this set period of time, you're going to see increased appearances for half of the Community Day pool. For PvPers who are active in Great League, this is the Community Day you will want to go hard at, because both Seedot and Weedle give you some really great PvP mons for the Great League, and then of course with Ghastly, you could pick up a really nice Haunter and even a Gengar, because in the Great League, Gengar may not necessarily be that great compared to Haunter, but I do see it working every so often. But in any case, yeah, Haunter and Beedrill and Shiftry, these are Great League standouts, so if you are very hardcore in PvP and you want some really good Great League Pokemon, this is the Community Day that's going to give you the most out of all of the other Pokemon that you could potentially get. Now, before I move on to Sunday, I also want to highlight Rhyhorn and Piplup. These are also great Pokemon for the Ultra League and Master League. Rhyhorn, of course, was a big standout in the Premier League of the Master League. And then, of course, with Piplup, it does evolve into Empoleon, which is a standout in the Ultra League, especially as a counter to some of the common Pokemon. So these are Pokemon that are great choices all around for PvP. So if you are hardcore about PvP, then these are Pokemon that you will not want to ignore. But with that said, let's move on to Sunday, because Sunday, I do think there's quite a lot of standouts as well. You're going to have these same bonuses from Saturday. You're going to have 2 times Catch Stardust, half egg hatching distance, and then of course the 3-hour incense. So once again, if you still have a whole bunch of incense, save them for this weekend, because during these set time periods, you're going to get the most out of every single one of your incense. Now let's talk about the Pokemon that are going to have increased appearances. We're going to have Magikarp, which I mentioned before, does evolve into Gyarados. Gyarados is a powerhouse in both the Master League and the Ultra League, especially with its Community Day move. So do not miss out on getting a really nice Magikarp throughout the entirety of this Community Day. And then we're going to have Porygon and Charmander, Electabuzz, and Magmar. These are the rest of the Pokemon that we've had throughout this year. And then of course with Charmander, his Community Day moves are going to be Dragon Breath, which has a lot of great implications for PvP, especially in the Ultra League. Now there's something special to note regarding moves when it comes to this Community Day that I think there's a lot of confusion behind it that I do want to clear up. But until I get into that, let's first talk about this Community Day bundle. It may possibly be the best Community Day bundle we've had all year. Now I know that this has been a point of controversy among the community when it comes to these Elite Charge TMs and Elite Fast TMs. A lot of people do not like the fact that a big source for getting these is through these Community Day boxes that require Pokecoins. And to be honest with you, I've been okay not buying these bundles, and I've been able to collect as many Elite TMs as I've needed. But if you are able to spend these coins, and if you are willing to spend these coins, then this is one that you will definitely want to purchase, considering that you will be getting 2 of these out of the same bundle for the same price. But if you want to go the free-to-play route, you can still pick up an Elite Charge TM through a special limited time research that you will be able to complete throughout this weekend. Do not miss out on that, because even if you do not care about Elite Charge TMs, you still will want to pick one of these up, considering that in the future you never know if you will need it. Now, like I mentioned before, there's going to be a little bit of a change up when it comes to Community Day moves in this particular recap Community Day. In the past, when it came to December Community Days, you could evolve pretty much any past Pokemon that had a Community Day in order to get its Community Day move. But unfortunately, this year, they're going to be limiting it to Pokemon that had a Community Day in 2019 and 2020. That means that for any Pokemon that was available as a Community Day Pokemon in the past, they're just not going to be able to get their Community Day moves if you evolve them during this particular time period. But if you have a really good one of those Pokemon that you really wanted a Community Day move out of, well, save those Pokemon, because Niantic did confirm that in the future there will be an event that will allow you to evolve for those Community Day moves. I'm not going to get into every single one of the moves that are going to be available, but the big standout is of course going to be Charizard, considering that this will be the second time he will have a Community Day, which means he's going to have 2 Community Day moves. Now, if you evolve Charmander into Charizard during this Community Day weekend, it will learn Dragon Breath and not Blast Burn. That's a very key thing you need to know. Even if you give it a second charge move, it will only learn Dragon Breath. So make sure you keep that in mind when you evolve your Charmanders. It's really unfortunate that Niantic decided to do it this way, considering that a Charizard with both Dragon Breath and Blast Burn would be a very powerful Pokemon, but unfortunately they are kind of forcing you to use Elite Charge TMs, or possibly even waiting a little bit further to get both of these moves in a future event. But I'm not actually sure how that future event is going to go, so don't quote me here. But if in any case, Dragon Breath is still a very powerful move for Charizard, but of course Blast Burn is its most special move that you could have, especially if you're using it in PvP. It may be worth using a charged Elite TM, but I'm just not too sure. I'm not that savvy when it comes to PvP, but Charizard with Blast Burn has always been a very powerful Pokemon in the Ultra League, so really pick and choose what your priorities are. But in any case, yeah, these are all of the details for the Community Day that we're having this weekend. Like I said, this is looking to be the biggest Community Day ever, especially for PvPers, so I really think that you should not ignore this particular Community Day. But of course, if you are not able to go out because of different quarantine measures and all of those lockdowns that we were all facing, then honestly, you will be able to do this from home thanks to the incense bonus. So do keep that in mind and make sure you're being as safe as possible, because as of right now, we're just coming to a close with the weirdest year that we've ever had, and it seems like Niantic is still trying to give us as much of a benefit as possible, but we'll just have to wait and see how it all ends up panning out. But I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I do hope you found it useful. If you did, make sure you share it, and do leave your comments down below. What are the Pokemon that you're particularly looking for with this Community Day weekend? I would love to know. And yeah, that's gonna be it. I'm Count Jinsula. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you all later.